Today on Suncoast View, get ready for some new options when you fly in and out of Tampa Airport. We'll talk about them.
It's the 20th anniversary of Thunder by the Bay. We'll talk about the big bike event, how it's changed over the years, and we'll even take a bike for a spin ourselves.
And a centuries-old tale gets a new staging. We'll preview The Hunchback of Notre Dame with the Manatee Performing Arts Center. All that more right now on Suncoast View.
Welcome to the show and welcome back to Shiva Mateo. Great to have you with us.
Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yes.
Happy Valentine's Day to all as we celebrate this week.
Yeah, I have the prettiest dates.
Yes.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you. And she has on a red skirt. I want you to know
I
that.
do. I am wearing red.
Yeah.
You have on some color.
She knew it was Valentine's
I
Day.
did.
Good to have everybody here. And Linda, I'm still in shock. I saw you whooping and hollering and hanging onto a motorcycle in the parking lot. Have you done that before?
No.
Bucket list.
So she says. I don't believe she looked like a pro to me.
Carried away.
Yes.
I did.
You know how you have that one friend that you can take anywhere because they'll fit in anywhere? I feel like that's Linda.
Absolutely. There's nothing you won't try.
I was roaring down the highway in my mind.
But I love your attitude. You're like, why shouldn't I
Open
climb
wind. Oh my goodness, what a great experience.
Fun. All right, well, we're going to talk about Thunder by the Bay and how you can actually sample what riding down the open road is like, and a lot of fun. I'm so proud of you. You'll do anything.
Miss it if you haven't tried that.
Good theory. I like that theory. All right, we have a friend in the kitchen today as well. Who better to celebrate any occasion with than Michael Klauber from Michael's Wine Cellar.
Thank you.
What are we pouring today?
We've got 3 fantastic wines to celebrate Valentine's Day or pretty much any time of this month, but 3 wonderful wines, some bubbles, beautiful French Burgundy, and a fantastic red from the south of France.
Okay, so if going to France to celebrate with your love is not an option, as it is not in my world at the moment, you can celebrate with Michael's Wine
France
Cellar.
is the month for lovers.
I love it.
I love it.
Absolutely, and certainly on my bucket list, Linda. So you get to do yours at work, I get
I'd
to
rather
do mine
do
with
mine
Michael.
on a motorcycle, thank you very much.
French wines are not
France.
turning around, but the motorcycle did.
Yeah.
So a lot
It
of fun. All right, it is time for our first hot topic. And starting today, things are different if you are flying in and out of Tampa International Airport. If you have visitors arriving, they will now rent a car at the new off-site rental center. That's different than just walking across the street to the parking garage like you used to. A new Sky Connect train will then get travelers from the rental cars in under 5 minutes back to the terminal, and I hear the view from it is pretty cool. Wow. Listen up if you like economy parking too. Sky Connect now also gets you from the economy garage to the terminal, and a new feature, you can check your bags at this remote garage and skip the ticketing counter.
Wow.
Okay,
that
that's
would be
huge
nice.
to me because hauling, like we go skiing in March, and there's
right.
always too much luggage. When you travel with little kids, as you both know, you're hauling
Absolutely.
their luggage. Oh my gosh, to be able to park, check it right there, and then zip on some little train into the terminal.
That's wonderful.
And
And
Count
miss
me
a
in.
line.
That's right. And it's that much less time that I have to argue with Teddy about how much I've actually packed, right?
The bags out of the car.
It's out of the
Maybe
way.
their scales won't be as accurate for weighing those
He
bags.
won't remember.
I don't want to be Debbie Downer here, but we park in economy parking, and it's worth it to me totally. And they get even before they had this train, they still got you to the terminal pretty quickly. But I'm a little nervous about the idea of checking my bags one more step away from the actual airport.
true.
Because I'm
I thought
afraid
about
that's just
that.
you're increasing the margin for error.
Yes.
That makes me a little
I
nervous.
want to know how they're getting there. Is
Yes.
the guy driving them? Did they put in some kind of conveyor belt subway deal where they zip on in?
Yes.
We might want to know the source.
And will
very
security,
concerning.
will security be higher when you're checking in bags there? Will they now then have to go through some?
I'm sure they still have to go through the X-ray
Yeah.
Now I'm
big
all paranoid.
machine.
Now
I
I'm
know.
paranoid.
Sorry.
I might not try that.
Happy
right.
Valentine's.
Exactly.
I'll be the test bunny because that whole carrying the bag, I pay more to not park remote,
Yeah.
mostly because of bags.
Yeah.
So to not have to do that, I'm in.
And I dress
you're our
down because
guinea
of
pig.
bags. Now I can dress up.
And it does save you money. You save money parking in that economy
Oh, it's a
garage,
lot of money.
and you know you have to leave early anyway because you don't know what's going to happen over the Howard Franklin when you're coming from
Right.
our area.
Right.
So it's worth it. Totally
Yeah,
worth it.
no, and just something we should all know because obviously a lot of us travel in and out of Tampa and a lot of visitors do. So it's going to be different now with the rental cars off-site. But kind of excited to see an upgrade. Tampa's
Yeah.
airport ranks very highly.
Everything helps.
So absolutely, everything does help. Well, speaking of travel, most of us don't enjoy hanging out in airports. And Here's a reason why. You're really going to dread this when you hear what the dirtiest places are, and it's not probably what you think. So topping the list, the self-check-in kiosks. Okay, think about it. Everybody touches them, and who knows if they ever wash them. So just as gross, and this one you will predict, the lavatory flush buttons.
Oh, yes.
But you're supposed to at least wash your hands afterward, but think about that. Nobody's washed their hands
When they go
before
in.
when they go in.
Yeah.
So that's gross. I use my foot, to be quite honest. For your flight.
I can't get my foot that high.
Oh no, I hadn't thought about that either. Okay.
There's a visual.
Okay, and yes, sorry about that. While you're waiting for your flight, avoid the airport gate bench armrests. Because again, every traveler has leaned on them and touched them and sneezed on them, but we don't typically see people wiping those down
Well, I
either.
think this is all the more reason to just fly private.
Private.
Absolutely.
You have your own plane.
No, I would like
But
to.
she would like one.
Strengthens the argument.
We're
I guess.
available.
The kiosk, self-checking kiosks, I'm surprised by that, but when you say it, it makes absolute sense.
Yes.
Everybody touches
Everybody's fingers
it,
are.
and no one cleans it.
ATMs are always on the list of things in life that are disgustingly dirty for that exact same reason.
Yeah. When I
So-
went to college and then I came back home and I lived with my dad as an adult, but all of a sudden my dad became a germaphobe about one thing, the escalator handrail. He said, don't
yeah.
touch it. You don't need to touch it, number one, and number two, nobody cleans it.
That's right.
So
There's a long list of things in life that everybody
Yeah.
touches and nobody cleans.
That's right. That's right. Well, my dad has always been a germaphobe. Like to even like if he goes to the dentist because he's military, so he said, you know, you go to a civilian dentist, you know, they don't have a cover over the utensils. You know, they don't have a Sheba. In the military, they have a cover. Like he's mortified. Yeah. Oh,
That's
yeah.
interesting.
My dad's
Yeah, it's one of those
always
things
a
you don't want
order.
to start thinking about because there's a long list.
Right,
There's a
True.
very
On the
long
subway, I was
list.
like, do I really need to hold on?
No.
Right.
God knows.
I
when
try
we
not to
have
do
to
that
walk
on those trains either. Lean
No.
against them and use your balance.
That's right.
Use your
I'm
body.
holding on like this.
Snowboarding.
Get out
Practice
of my way.
snowboarding.
All right, so Valentine's Day always brings up an age-old debate. Which is really better, being married or being single? Well, we know there's pluses and minuses to both. CNN actually tried to do a legit study on this in different categories. So take finances, for example. According to the study, being married is better. An Ohio State study says married people experience a per-person net worth increase of more than 75% over singles. Makes sense, you're combining bank accounts. However, single people have financial freedom. We all don't like those arguments. What about health and happiness? Well, it's a split here. Married people actually have lower rates of cancer and heart issues, but only if it is a happy marriage without excess stress. If stress is a factor, then singles have a healthier life. And sleep, well, hate to tell you, we all know that's a little bit better. Single, where nobody's hogging the bed, nobody is snoring, and nobody wakes you up in the middle of the night. So
It's really interesting that you brought this up. I studied or worked with reading for a very long time Dr. DePaolo. She is the guru of, I guess in the very beginning, a book called Singleism. Now, granted, I'm dating myself. This was like, I don't know, 15 years or 10 years ago. But Singleism was also a type of what do you call, like, not aggression, but like prejudice that singles would receive from not being married.
Right.
You know, like
You're
like
treated differently.
buying a home or not being invited to the Christmas party that everyone would
Absolutely.
invite other couples to. So it is, it is that slippery slope where I feel that yes, individually being single has a lot of added benefits, but I think society, depending on your networks and depending on your groups, can sometimes isolate you because of that
and
too.
depending where you live, I mean, don't you
Yeah.
feel like in big cities it's perfectly
New York, it didn't
reasonable,
matter.
nobody cares, but
That's
in
right.
smaller communities there are a lot more coupled and family activities.
Yeah.
Well, it changes with life cycles.
Yes.
And I've been married twice, and I'm single. And I really liked being married the second time, and I really like being single now.
And you have single friends just because
Yes.
of the point where you are in life. And that to me is what makes a difference is, that community you run in.
Yes.
I have people to hang out with.
Yeah.
So if I want to go to dinner or a movie or something, I have people to go with.
There
Yes.
were cases where I was not invited to things when I was single, and I don't know if it's because it was more of a couples event or a
was
party.
me.
Or they just didn't like you.
No, exactly, that could very well,
Well,
be.
how could
now
that
I get
ever
invited
be?
because of my association.
I think think Sheba makes a good point, though, because I was a single mom for a very long time, and that was a very hard time to be single. It was very stressful to mom alone. It was stressful to have financial responsibility, and I often wasn't invited because I didn't have a plus one.
And I met my husband very late in life. So when I was an executive, or even when I was, doing other projects in New York, it was really, you needed to be married to do X, Y, Z and hang.
Right. Well, hopefully you can love where you are today, regardless of it. Speaking of single, there are some new ways to describe dating behavior these days. You may have heard the term ghosting, right? That's when someone just kind of suddenly up and ignores you for no reason. Well, here's another list of things that people are running into. Sidebarring. I know people who are guilty of this. You pay more attention to the people on social media than the person you're actually with at the time.
Oh, that's bad.
So that, yes, that would be meaning you're sidebarring somebody. What about flexting? Flexting is annoying. It is digital boasting, where you're talking about how cool you are, bragging online to impress somebody before you've actually even met.
Hashtag blessed. That's what flexing is. Whenever someone writes hashtag blessed, they're flexing.
Okay, that's funny. Now, cricketing. I love this word.
Cricketing?
Cricketing. And this comes from the term I hear nothing but crickets, meaning they're not there. That's when you deliberately leave a message on read for way longer than necessary. So for an example, on an iPhone, those 3 little dots pop up and you're like, oh, look, they're reading my message.
Oh, yeah.
And then it stays there, and it stays there, and it stays there. That's cricketing. You're getting crickets back from them.
I didn't know that's what that
Waiting to
meant.
hear
Yeah,
back.
just waiting. I'm still waiting. And do you serendipidate? This is when you may have made plans to go out Friday, but you then push it back a week, hoping something better comes along. Do you know what I love about all these words? These are all things we've been doing for 50 years. This is not new. I serendipidated all the time. I might be free Friday unless somebody else calls. But now we just have cool names for it.
Yes.
Like we've been ghosting people forever. You
There's
just
nothing
ignore 'em.
wrong with ghosting. Ghosting too. You can ghost when you leave a party and you don't tell anybody. You don't
just
say
sort of
goodbye.
I've done
disappear.
that.
I think if it's a small
I've
party,
done
that's
that.
perfectly acceptable.
Or
very
if the guy
guilty
is
of
being
that.
rude.
Oh, yeah, then you just ghost
I was
them.
like, I just ghosted.
There's nothing worse than saying, hey, everybody, stop the party for a second. I'm leaving.
Right, right.
Usually you want to do the opposite. You don't want to call attention to the fact that you're bored and going home.
Ghost out the back. We used to use these terms that we named them after people, like,
Oh, right. Pull a Roger.
Right. I'm going to go Ron, which is, because Ron always leaves a party and doesn't tell anybody.
That's very true.
And now people have just gotten
Pull a
more
Roger.
creative, and there's universal words.
I love it. Well, now we'll know what they're talking about.
Yes.
Exactly.
Flexing.
All right, well, we're going to lighten things up and take a vacation. And it's truly a girls' trip. Sorry, Joey. Normally we'd invite you, but this is against the rules. No, we're not even going to invite them. There is an entire island devoted only to women. It is called Super She Island. It is off the coast of Finland. Women can book days or weeks-long stays, and there is truly no men allowed. So the founder came up with the idea after several restorative vacations at other places, but found that good-looking men seem to kind of mess with those relaxing vibes. Innately, women want to impress men. So there would be an effort to look good, or to have a cute top, or to do something that is anti-relaxing. So with Super She Island, you leave your hormones at home, and that is how they advertise.
Sounds pretty boring to me.
I
Linda
must
wants the
admit.
men.
Don't you think it's relaxing, though, to just know that there is no reason to give a care about anything?
I relax as much around Joey as I do anybody, yeah. I feel very
You must
relaxed
not see
around
me
him.
as a romantic possibility. It is
Well,
Valentine's.
Joey,
You are 40 years younger than me, Joey. That does
could
have
be the
a
reason.
that does play.
I know this sounds horribly sexist, but I do get it. I mean, I do get it.
Really?
I do.
It's so funny. Okay, so in our everyday lives, right? Yes, we have to, I guess, step up a little bit more than we would like to, but I kind of feel like when we go on vacation, that's the time I get to take my time and put on makeup, or take my time to put on maybe some heels that I wouldn't typically wear on a normal basis,
Right.
because I'm on vacation.
Right.
I get to, like,
And I'm leaving
play.
mine at home.
You
All of the above.
Yeah, it's so funny.
I've worked out in group fitness with women most of my adult life, just because of when I go and the classes I like.
And because you take dance exercise.
Because I take dance classes.
I love it.
And I've seen across the board, all cities, women, when a man comes in the class, and I'm not talking me, but a man that they might see as a romantic partner for them, when he comes in the class, everybody starts showing up a little bit, showing off. And some of the girls will say, just stop it. So girls women that were friendly in class do turn on each other a little, and I've seen it. I'm not saying every woman does it, but I have seen it.
I agree. I don't think I was ever like that. I could
Me
care
either.
less.
Me either. I cared more about what the girls thought than the guys thought.
Well, and I wondered that when I read this, because I think girls are harder to be around sometimes than men. So I don't know if Super She Island's going to turn into...
Because guys aren't looking at that cute top, but you would be looking at that
that's a good
cute
point.
top.
Linda
may
knew
be
she was going to get his attention in the end anyway.
I think also being in New York, there was always too much competition anyway, so who cares? It's like,
yeah,
whatever,
that's a good point.
you know.
Super She Island if you need a girls getaway. Okay, we're going to check in with our happy hour forecast. And when we come back, Manatee Players previews their newest musical.
Good afternoon, I'm Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan with your first alert weather update for this happy hour. Looking pretty good if you like warm temperatures. 80 degrees near the coast right now. 67 on the dew point. That's way up there. Winds out of the west-northwest at 10. The pressure has come down just a little bit, but still extremely high. 30, 31. That's the reason why our weather has been so nice as of late and warm. Even a few isolated showers popping up on temperatures in the mid-80s inland. Not much in terms of intensity. You can see that light rain just north of Arcadia. One lone shower there in Manatee County. Don't be surprised by a sprinkle or two through this evening, and that would be about it. We're not expecting a lot of accumulation if we see any rainfall at all. It should be a rather brief shower. And current temps, well, there you go. 82 in Miami now, 80 in Sarasota, 79 in Key West. A bit cooler in Jacksonville and Pensacola in the mid-60s there, 72 in Tallahassee. Satellite imagery continues to show lots of fair skies over the Gulf. We'll have the latest on our forecast. Take a look at the weekend at 5.
The Hunchback of Notre Dame became a well-known story when Disney made it into a film and then a musical. But the story actually dates back to a novel written in 1831 by Victor Hugo. Ken Mooney from Manatee Performing Arts Center is here to tell us about their new adaptation. Now, for all of us who don't quite remember back to 1831, Ken, tell us a little about the story.
Well, the story's the classic story that Disney told and Hugo wrote. Basically, it's about unrequited love. And it's really about all forms of love, which is why it's a perfect Valentine's story. I think it's something that when people go to see the show, they're going to see something that is similar to the animation, but also very different. I think it's an adult storytelling.
And there are a lot of parts, a lot of things going on here. It must have been difficult to stage.
It is challenging. I mean, you have a core of performers who play multiple roles to keep the story moving, because it really is about three people. So they come and go as gargoyles, and they play citizens, and they play all the other characters in the story, and we do it very efficiently. There aren't a lot of costume changes. They're very minimal, and they're suggestive, which is kind of my favorite way of telling a story.
So this goes back 200 years. How do you make it relevant for today?
Oh, well, love is always relevant for today, isn't it?
Yes, it
even
is.
Now, I mean, we're all suffering all different kinds of love. I shouldn't say suffering always, but sometimes suffering and sometimes enjoying. So, and I think the story hits that wonderful thought of what love really is.
Now you've added some new music.
The music is actually a little bit different, and I will say that it's a little less, not juvenile, but it was animation to begin with. It's a darker story. It's a more real story now. It's back to the Hugo piece, and the music's actually quite beautiful. What's not what you expect.
So there are still the Disney songs that we remember from the Disney film?
Some of those songs are still prevalent, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but you'll see it. You won't go and see the animation.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to have a different experience.
Since it is a little darker and more adult, you've used that word a couple
I
times.
know.
Can I take my family? What's the kid range,
absolutely.
do you think here?
I think it's no darker than some of the stuff Disney's put out in animation and re-released in some of their live-action shows.
So older, elementary,
exactly.
ought to be
But
fine.
the great thing about that is for adults who don't have children and older people, they're really going to enjoy it. It's still relevant.
Right.
So.
Well, we'll show you, because we have a preview. We have Alex Zicafus here with us. He plays Quasimodo, and he is going to sing Out There for us. Take it away.
My sanctuary. Safe behind these windows and these parapets of stone, gazing at the people down below me. All my life I watch them as I hide up here alone, hungry for the histories they've shown me. All my life I memorize their faces, knowing them as they will never know me. All my life I wonder how it feels to pass a day not above them, but part of them. and out there living in the sun. Give me one day out there, all I ask is one to hold forever. Out there, where they all live unaware. What I'd give, what I'd dare, just to live one day out there. Out there among the millers and the weavers and their wives, through the roofs and gables I can see them. Every day they shout and scold and go about their lives, heedless of the gift it is to be them. If I were in their skin, I'd treasure every instant out there, strolling by the Seine. Taste the morning out there like ordinary men who freely walk about there. Just one day, and then I swear I'll be content with my share. Won't resent, won't despair. Old and bent, I won't care. I'll have spent one day out there.
Wow, beautiful.
So much
Hunchback of
emotion.
Notre Dame is the Manatee Performing Arts Center through March 4th. For tickets and information, go to their website. Next, our favorite romantic movies for Valentine's Day.
Every year, 40% of all food in the U.S. never gets eaten.
40%. That's almost half the food we produce.
Food waste is a serious problem. It impacts all of us.
And it's expensive. Your family is throwing $1,500 a year in the trash.
We're working hard to put food waste on the chopping block.
And you can do the same at home.
Learn how to cook it, store it, and share it.
Just don't waste it.
Go to SaveTheFood.com.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sunny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Thousands of award-winning Honda SUVs are on sale from $189 a month during the Honda President's Day sales event. You've got to see these SUVs. Get a surprisingly spacious 2018 HR-V, $189 a month, or step up to Pilot for $289 a month with available seating for 8. Plus, we have Motor Trend's SUV of the Year, the 2018 CR-V, and Ridgeline, a car and driver's 10 best. All on sale for up to $3,805, less than the competition at your local Honda dealer.
It's time to take a road trip.
Burn rubber for Birmingham, where you can feed your need for speed at Barber Motorsports Park and Museum. Now this gets my motor running. Meet Iron Men. Hey there, big guy. And make a date with your 9-iron. Feed the animals at the zoo and the birds. Then enjoy the award-winning restaurant scene. Alabama has a road trip with your name on it.
Which one you gonna take?
We are celebrating Valentine's Day with a few of our favorite romantic films. So let's start with the American Film Institute's picks for the most romantic movies ever. So number 5, An Affair to Remember. So a good choice there, of course. And this list dates fairly far back. Okay, number 4 from AFI, Roman Holiday.
Audrey Hepburn.
Oh, that one struck Joey a little bit. Number 3, one of my favorites, West Side Story. Never going to forget the Jets. Number 2, Gone with the Wind. I think we predicted this one.
You should have taken Rhett.
Any guesses on number 1, of course?
Yes.
Casablanca.
Looking at you, kid.
But interesting because none of those within the last, 30, 40, 50 years.
61, I think, was West Side Story.
Right.
So that would have been.
So everything's dating a ways back. So
yeah, it depends on who chose them.
Well, good point. So we decided, of course, we wanted to hear from each other about romantic movies. So we're going to start with Linda.
Oh, Titanic. When they're standing there on the bow of the boat and the song, Your Love Will Go On Forever, so even death doesn't separate her in love. Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, my goodness. And he influenced her. For the rest of her life was better because she had loved him. So I just love that movie.
Oh, and in '97, so you chose one that's a little more recent, which is interesting.
That surprises you that I was watching movies.
I'm thrilled. No, I love that that's the one that you chose. That's cool.
And that, of course, still lives on in popularity with everyone as well. Okay, now Sheba went back a little bit farther, I understand.
Yes, I've always been in love with the sound of music. And it's because I think it represents so many different aspects of love. And yes, when I talk to my daughter about it, she too at 7 has already seen it twice. And it probably, relates to the fact that I watched it so many times with my mother. But when you look at the ancient Greeks' definition of love, which is still very valid today, much like any play that's written, you can break that whole movie down and do a thesis on it, Joey, where, you can talk about the Eros kind of love, which is the love that Maria has for Captain Von Trapp, is that kind of, lustful love, or the pragma love, the love that the Baroness had for Captain Von Trapp, which she was very pragmatic about it. And then even when you look at Liesel and Roth and the idea that they, the Ludus love,
really
right, which is very
There's a lot of interlove stories
there.
Yeah,
and Maria's love of music.
Because at first I thought that was a different type of choice.
No,
no.
You can break it down and you can find every
You really went for it.
I did.
I thought more of Ghost because first of all, how spontaneous with the pottery scene, of course, is beautiful and romantic, and Unchained Melody, we all loved this song again because of this movie. And just the idea that he loved her and didn't express it until it was too late, and he spends the whole movie trying to get back to her so he can tell her that he loves her. Great movie. Steph, what about you? Yours surprised me.
I went very traditional. So I went with Pretty Woman, and it's honestly, that story has never stopped making me happy. But this is the reason why, because he defends her. She asks those people in that snooty store to help her, and they send her away, and he comes back and in her honor, in her defense, and stands up for her. And I thought that was just a very romantic, chivalrous gesture.
Interesting. It says a lot about us, which movies we like.
That's what it says.
Good topic. I was glad you asked that, Joy. It made us think about some things. So
right?
good week of the year to do that. Okay, we're going to heat things up in a different way now. We're going to rev up the engines and get Linda ready for Thunder by the Bay. She's heading off down the road.
To be able to just get my son here and not think about how we will pay for it, it just takes so much weight off of my family. St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Invest in Kids is a $7.5 million project to build a new Boys and Girls Club in South Manatee County. I'm Caleb Grimes, and I was a club kid. It's where I learned important life lessons, leadership, integrity, responsibility, and baseball. Thousands of kids attend the Boys and Girls Clubs, and after years of use, their club is slowly falling apart. Help us invest in kids. Make your donation today.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7.
You get the shot, you get exposed to the flu, you don't get ill. It already has exposed your immune system to this virus, so even if you do get sick, your symptoms can be milder.
The flu outbreak, a shot is available, but will it prevent you from getting sick or stop flu deaths? Why is this year worse than most? I'm Alan Cohn, will have the story, so meet me at the trapezoid.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
In life after the military, it's our duty as veterans to have each other's back. I'm retired Colonel Greg Gatson, and it's my mission to help you get the benefits and services you've earned. If you need to file a VA claim, remember these important steps. Submit an online claim through ebenefits.va.gov. Work with an accredited Veteran Service Organization, or VSO. And if you need to attend a VA claim exam, please go. Visit this website to learn what to expect.
Welcome back to Suncoast View. We're going to check back in with Michael Klopper from Michael's Wine Cellar. And I like what I see, Michael, with some bubbly poised to pour.
We've got some great bubbles for you for Valentine's Day and February for lovers. This is everything that you need to get
and
things
you've been
started.
celebrating throughout the month at Michael's Wine Cellar, I understand.
We have,
Tell us
yes.
a little bit about the French Epicurean adventure.
Well, you know, February is for lovers, and so we love doing French menus because there's so many romantic things you can do with all those dishes. So, of course, it's a fabulous French menu all month long.
Okay, and that's great because not everyone may get out tonight to celebrate or even this week. So you have the month of February to love at Michael's. All right, we'll join you in a little bit. The Roar of the Engines is headed back to Sarasota. This is the 20th anniversary of Thunder by the Bay, and this year's multi-day motorcycle festival has several new features, including a brand new location. Festival Director Lucy Nicandri and Lori Rossiter Sinclair are with us today to tell us all about it. Congratulations on 20 years.
Isn't that awesome?
That is amazing.
Thank you.
So let's look back and tell us how this ever got started.
Well, actually, at the time, I had a friend of mine say, you know, let's do a motorcycle run on New Year's Day. Let's just take a ride out east. So we did it, and at the time I was working for a charity, and he said, well, we'll have everybody pay $20 and we'll raise money for charity. We raised $100, and I think we had 90 bikes the first year, okay? Fast forward 20 years later, as the years went by, year two, I started thinking, because I would go to different rallies in different cities, and I was talking with Lori, I said, you know, we can expand this. Sarasota can do a bike rally, and everybody that I knew said, oh no, you'll never pull this off. This will never happen in Sarasota. Exactly. The worst thing you can tell me is no, and you can't do it. So we rallied some people around it. Sponsors jumped on board, and we went from 1-day to 2-day event. Then we went from a 2-day to a 3-day event. Now we're a 4-day event, and we're a destination event with a lot of people coming into the area.
How
so
many
we're excited.
do you think get here for these weekends, if you had to estimate?
Well, we did an economic impact study on this. We pay for that every year. They estimate around 60 to 70,000 people throughout the 4 days.
That's crazy.
8.8 million in economic impact. 8,400 room nights, and for the charity, it's a big fundraiser for Suncoast Charities for Children.
That's wonderful.
And we have customers that come from all over the world. I have customers that plan their vacations around this event, come from Germany, come from Norway, come all over the place. So yeah, it's great.
A lot of changes over the years, and like we know last year you moved the event to Lakewood Ranch, and this year it's coming back downtown. Tell us about bringing it back down here.
Well, we're excited. You know, in reality, we have outgrown downtown. The event has gotten so big. We were very grateful to Lakewood Ranch last year. We were able to take a big growth step. That property sold to Manatee County. So when the Grand Prix Festival was over this summer, I immediately went over to see Rory at the fairgrounds, and I said, Rory, we've got all this. I can't downsize after we've upsized.
Right.
So we're very grateful the fairgrounds gave us the facility for 2 days. So Thursday night's a kickoff party, Michael's on East Ballroom. Friday night we'll be downtown, Bikes on Main, free admission. We got a great night bike show, live music.
good.
And then all day Saturday, 10 to 10, and 10 to 6 on Sunday at the fairgrounds. The festival's theme this year is where rock meets country.
Oh,
So
nice.
you're going to hear some classic rock, you're going to hear some country music. We've got Vegas McGraw, our headliner for Saturday, a Tim McGraw tribute.
How
and
great.
we've got great bands.
You mentioned Suncoast Charities for Children. Let's go back. I think when people go to the event, they don't always realize that this is a huge fundraiser. Tell us about Suncoast Charities for Children.
Well, it is. Between both festivals, the Grand Prix and Thunder by the Bay, those are our main fundraising arms. And over the years, Suncoast Charities for Children has been able to construct $20 million of facilities that 5 nonprofits are in rent-free in the area. Our mission is to provide programs and services to special needs children, teens, and adults. So the agencies that benefit from this include Sarasota County Special Olympics. We built that entire facility in Venice. The Florida Center, Children First, Loveland, and the Haven in Sarasota.
Oh,
so
wow.
roughly
Great causes.
8,000 clients served a year, and Suncoast Charities is a funder towards that, and the Suncoast Foundation.
Giving right back to the Suncoast. I know you also, over the years, you honor veterans and first responders and active duty military. Tell us what's happening this year.
That's happened every year where we want to honor our veterans and active duty military. This year, we went to some of our presenting and major sponsors and said, would you identify a veteran that works within your company or business that we could give an Eagle Award on stage to for their service? So we're going to be doing that between every musical act that'll be on stage Saturday and Sunday, honoring our veterans.
Oh, wonderful. So, Laura, you've been with the event from the beginning, and you brought us, you let us get suited up in a little bit of the leather.
Absolutely. Well, what
So
people don't,
comfy.
Harley Davidson, motorcycle, it's a lifestyle. It's something that you experience. And just by putting on some of the gear, you start to experience that. You don't have to have a motorcycle to enjoy it. You know, we have all kinds of, we've got the functional gear, we have fashion. I mean, look at the lamb skin on that. I mean,
so soft.
You know,
Yes,
and
it's
the combination
amazing.
denim and leather. So, you know,
Very much me,
yeah.
My Moxie is up.
I like
Well,
it.
you didn't just bring some clothes for
No.
us. One of us also got the chance to kind of experience what it's like out on the open road on a bike.
Riding a
Let's take
motorcycle.
a look.
Well, the Jumpstart allows you to simulate riding a motorcycle without actually being in danger of falling over or wrecking into somebody else. So it's a kind of a fun experience for somebody that's never ridden a motorcycle before. I think you made it to like 70.
70 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's third gear, 70 miles an hour. It's pretty strong.
Oh, I could feel the wind in my hair, the freedom of the open road.
It'll be out at the fairgrounds all weekend, so everybody can come out and enjoy it. We can also teach you at the class. Both dealerships have the Riding Academy class. We can teach you to learn to ride and obviously increase your experience level after the jump start.
Wow, that was so great. This is such a wonderful idea.
Linda, you're a natural.
I never thought I'd be going 70 miles an hour on a Harley.
You were born to ride.
Isn't that wonderful? And it's going to be out at the fairgrounds both Saturday and
people can
Sunday.
try it out.
Anybody can come try it out.
So
Come to our
much to
tent.
do. You're going to want to check out the calendar of events for this entire festival because there's so much to do for the whole family, all for a great cause. It is going on this weekend, kicks off February 15th and goes through the 18th. Check out the website thunderbythebay.org. Coming up next, a Suncoast author has some date night ideas without a date. Linda, you can take your bike.
Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC7 shows on your streaming device.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
This is an ABC7 News Update.
Good afternoon, I'm Scott Dennis. Here's what's coming up at 5 o'clock. Changes are coming to the Laurel-Nokomis area with several big-name businesses moving in there. What the transformation will mean for that area. And new legislation that would allow pharmacists to test and treat customers for the flu and strep throat. Let's get an update now on our weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Bob.
Thanks, Scott. Good afternoon, everyone. We had another warm day today. 80 degrees, 80-degree temperatures seem to be the rule now, and it looks like it's not going away anywhere for a while anyway. Temperature 80 degrees, our dew point temperature 67, and the humidity at 64%. We have a wind out of the west-northwest at 10, and the pressure 30-31. Now, as far as rainfall goes, don't be surprised to see a brief shower here or there. There's that possibility as it moves off to the west-southwest on an east wind, basically. We have that west sea breeze developing and a few spotty showers around. We'll have the latest on our forecast at 5. See you then.
Watch Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7, weekdays starting at 5.
It's been about a month, and I can honestly say I've seen the change in me. I went from being a depressed girl who didn't want help to this happy, caring girl who loves helping other people. I just really hope that people that went through what I went through get the help that they need, because their story is important and they are loved. Thank you so much for everything.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Valentine's Week is all about sweethearts, but it may not be your favorite time to be a Suncoast single. So it's good to be reminded that there are plenty of great things in life to do solo. And best-selling author and blogger Lisa Daly has come with some very fun ideas. Your new book is called Single Minded.
It is called Single Minded, and it's actually about a woman who marries her childhood sweetheart, and it turns out that marriage doesn't take. And so she finds herself single for the first time at 30, and she has to, sort of do all of the dates that, that we all did in high school and college. And it's a pretty funny book. We really had a lot of fun with it.
Is it your life story?
We were all wondering.
Yeah.
Lay it out there, Linda. Especially the scene with the young guy in the college room.
Okay, well, so here's the funny thing.
She's blushing.
I am blushing a little bit. It's funny because I think my first novel, 15 Minutes of Shame, was a little bit more autobiographical. That's about a dating expert who gets dumped on national TV, even though that also didn't happen to me. But certainly when I was writing that, anybody who's been dating knows it can be a horror show out there. I mean, it just can be crazy. And so it was, and because it's a comedy, I really enjoyed sort of taking the worst dates that I ever had, that my girlfriends ever had, that, and turning that into a book.
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds like fun. You don't have to go there.
Right.
You can
right, exactly.
Well, you've got some tips for us if we're all alone on Valentine's Day.
I know. This is like the hardest day of the year, I think, sometimes, because you have all the jewelry ads and the lovey couples and, the parade of roses in the office. And a lot of people hate the whole month. They hate Valentine's Day. They hate the whole month. But there's a lot of fun to be had if you just know what to do.
Now you say recycle your ex. I'm a little concerned about that.
It is legal. Okay, so I love this idea. You throw a party and you have everybody, all singles. Everybody bring that person that they dated who was great but not the one. It's sort of like a little people potluck. So everybody brings...
But physically bring the date.
The person is there.
Bring your ex, who's not right for you, but might be right for somebody else.
But it wasn't horrible.
But wasn't
right.
No, we're talking about good exes.
Good exes.
Just people that you
It's
just didn't feel the magic with.
He was good. Would he be next? I don't know. I'm
Right,
not
right.
there.
But you're still friends. There's always that. You always have
One
one that didn't
person's
work.
trash is another person's treasure.
That's exactly right.
I
That's
mean,
exactly
You
right.
might have to rephrase the invitation.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
So
Here's my
Vegas.
trash, you
now
might
you
love it.
mentioned Vegas.
I do. Now, Vegas, there's no greater place to be single on earth than Vegas, right? There you go. plan a girls' weekend or a guy's weekend. Go out, hit the town. By the time you wake up, it will not be Valentine's Day anymore, and you'll have had a great time.
And you say a service project. Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you. So one of the things that helps people feel better about their own lives is to do something for somebody else. And so if on Valentine's Day or just in general you are feeling sort of low, it's always a good idea to go out and do something for other people.
I think that's a great idea.
So help out with a
Yes.
Habitat house, or go serve food at the homeless shelter. But
yeah.
That's nice.
yeah, right.
Are you also mentioned do your taxes?
Right.
That sounds depressing.
Right. Okay, let me tell you why doing your taxes on Valentine's Day is not as awful as it sounds. Yes, it's going to suck, but you have to do them anyway, right?
Oh, and it's right off the day?
Right, you have to
Right.
do them anyway. You might as well get them over with. You'll get your refund a couple of weeks early, and they'll already be done.
Oh, that's a good thing.
That's fair. That's fair. Get something done.
Right? If you're going to be miserable,
Yeah.
get a refund while
Be
you're doing
totally
it.
miserable.
That's right.
And let's say get your baby fix.
Get your baby fix.
Because you mentioned taking care of other people's kids.
Right. Okay. I was like, wait, what?
Wow.
Yes, go right out and get yourself. No, I'm kidding.
I read your book.
So one of the things that is really challenging if you are coupled or if you're a single mom, like we've all been through this, is it's impossible to find a babysitter on Valentine's Day. I mean, it's like more challenging than figuring out the molecular formula of spam. So if you are single, babysit for somebody else.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's another service project.
That's right.
Now the last one is pajamas or poker. I
Right.
take pajamas myself.
Me too, right? You're never too old or too young for a pajama party. It's one of my favorite things to do. A few, homemade pedicures. Just have a girls' night. Right?
Yeah.
Watch some movies.
All of these combat loneliness too, which I like. So it isn't just about getting coupled or being single. It's really just about staying out there and finding people that, being with people.
Having a great night, no matter what it is.
Yeah, it is great any time of year, and it's absolutely about being with your friends and having a full life.
Find your
You
tribe.
can find lots more advice from Lisa on her dating expert blog. Don't forget to pick up her book, Single Minded. Coming up next, the top dog, Best in Show.
I'm Anne. I'm a scientist.
Recycling takes a team.
Why don't you let me and me help you out?
Everyone plays a part. Don't trash
I love taking stuff apart and building new things out of it.
what could be treasure.
Pal's my most advanced android. This is awesome. You haven't seen anything yet.
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Hi, I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Webb. The Sarasota County Fire Department is bringing a new app to the Suncoast.
We'll tell you why Pulse Point could help first responders save lives tomorrow on Good Morning Suncoast. John?
So we're looking at some pretty quiet conditions on the Suncoast once again today. We'll scan radar and give you the hour-by-hour forecast bright and early tomorrow.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Don't allow your weight to threaten your health or control your future. Excess weight or obesity can cause emotional and physical health risks. But you can take control. The Your Weight Matters campaign offers free resources and tips to help you measure and understand your weight. Take the Your Weight Matters Challenge. The free toolkit prepares you to speak with a healthcare provider about your weight. Your weight does matter. Take the challenge and take control today.
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook.
Okay, we've talked several times about the big Westminster Dog Show in Manhattan this week. Stunned silence when they announced the winner. You know how seriously people take this. This is the winner. His name is Flynn. I want one. This is a Bichon Frise and a complete surprise pick for Best in Show.
Wow. I don't know why it's a surprise.
Well, you know how they are. They have
terriers, right? We learned terriers
and a
always
larger
fun.
sporting dog in one. He looks like the cutest little fluff ball I have ever seen. And Linda, you said you read he gets washed several times a day.
I heard on Good Morning America he gets washed 2 or 3 times a day and then clipped every day.
That
He
is
was the underdog,
That
literally.
is a win with Flynn, the underdog, and we think he is just adorable. All right, well, we think things are pretty wonderful in the kitchen, too. And here's why Michael's on East and Michael's Wine Cellar here to celebrate with us.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
My goal every day when I come into work at ABC7 is to tell your stories, give you that major local news and those details that you really care about. I'm Jacqueline Matter, and I'm here for you.
This is an ABC7 News Update.
Hello, I'm Jacqueline Matter. Here's what we're working on for 5 o'clock. An active shooter at a South Florida high school leaves multiple people injured. The very latest on this developing story. Now let's get a check on our first alert weather forecast with Bob Harrigan.
Thanks, Jacqueline. Another warm day. Go figure, right? 80 degrees temperature currently. Temperatures warmed into the mid-80s today. Inland areas, a few isolated showers did pop up. The dew point temperature still high at 67. Winds are out of the west-northwest. A little sea breeze has kicked in. The pressure 30-31. Way high continues to stay pretty strong, and that's the reason why not much change in our weather forecast. We're going to have it, though, for you. A few spotty showers I mentioned out there into interior counties like Highlands County right now. There's a chance to see a few sprinkles tonight. Most areas, though, will stay dry, and storms to the north of us will stay there around the periphery of this high-pressure ridge, which is firmly in control. Details on your forecast coming up at 5.
ABC 7 News at 7 weeknights.
Rugs as Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
It's time to take a road trip.
Alabama's got 100 road trips. And if you love the sun, you're gonna love Mobile, where Mardi Gras is king, and the accommodations will make you feel like royalty. You can take a little drive, explore Dauphin Island, or explore the past. We're talking the USS Alabama. Check out these big guns. Alabama's got 100 road trips. Plan yours at alabama.travel.
Which one you gonna take?
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
Everything all right?
Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery?
Sure.
We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. It turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
I just need a second.
Is your weight holding you back and affecting your health?
Did you see this? Your cousin had a heart attack.
Really?
Excess weight or obesity can be serious, but you can do something about it. Visit yourweightmatters.org. Download the free toolkit to prepare you to speak with a healthcare provider. Your weight does matter. Accept the challenge and take charge today. Visit yourweightmatters.org.
Coming up Thursday at 4 on Suncoast View. Yeehaw! We're getting ready to rope some doggies. That's because it's time for the 10th annual Manatee Ranch Rodeo, and we're going to give it a try right here in the studio. Then we're going to talk to Admiral Travel about cruising, river, sea, all sorts of great trips that we can learn about coming our way. Also, we'll learn about the new exhibit at Ringling Museum in honor of Black History Month, and Bricks Barbecue joins us in the kitchen.
Welcome back. Today we're here with Michael Klauber from Michael's on East and Michael's Wine Cellar. Thank you so much for coming in today.
I'm excited to be here, Sheba, and with all of you today.
Yeah.
So we've got a great tasting, and since February is really a month for lovers, and France is the ultimate place for that, we're doing French wines this month. Not just for this, but these are the 3 wines for our Wine of the Month Club. So we've got the new club. It's only $60 a month.
Okay.
You get 3 bottles of wine delivered to your door.
That's the dangerous part.
That's the dangerous.
Delivered to your door.
But, you know, we started with
great
California.
theory.
Now
Yep.
we're in France. We're going to take this tour, and we're going to continue it so that people can learn more about it.
Well, I
So-
like the month of love theory that you have too. You know, it's
Well,
not just
yes.
tonight. Not everybody can get out in the middle of the week. We have all month,
All month
to come
do it.
celebrate with you.
So the
Okay.
first wine that we've got is a sparkling wine from France. It's from the Burgundy region, and it is Chardonnay. It's 100% Chardonnay from Boisset, from Jean Charles, who's quite the man about town when he visits. Joey would be thrilled with his outfits and great clothing. But so this is a 100% Chardonnay, and it has a really nice toasty bouquet.
And it doesn't have that bite that some of the sparklings have that people don't always like.
Very
the dryness
smooth.
and the bite.
This is
is
good.
very smooth.
I like it.
Yes, that's
He
interesting.
calls it a crémant, and they're all of these are reasonably priced too. So they're just great fun wines to explore, and people don't think so much about having bubbles from Burgundy. They think about it typically from Champagne.
And so to be called champagne, it must come from the Champagne region. Is that correct?
It's just like a Sarasota County. It can only be called Sarasota if it's from within this border.
So when we
Same
say we
thing
want
with
a bottle
Champagne.
of champagne, what we're really saying is we want a bottle of sparkling wine. From Champagne. Perhaps it would be from Champagne.
From
but
the
it doesn't-
Champagne County.
Okay, so this is not Champagne, but we do love it.
Yes.
It is good. Okay.
The second one is from Bourgogne, or from Burgundy. And you know, they confuse us there because they don't really call it by the grape variety.
Mhm.
So you kind of have to know that in Burgundy, if it's a white wine, it can only be Chardonnay. And if it's a red wine, a red Burgundy, can only be Pinot Noir.
Oh, okay.
So this is Chardonnay from Thibault Léger Bel Air, 7th generation property, fantastic winemaking. Unoaked Chardonnay. We showed you an unoaked one the last time we were here. And again, they're not heavy, and they just go well with so many great dishes. You think about some of the things that we like to serve here in Sarasota. You don't get that heavy oak, and you have a very nice.
So are all, I have to ask this correct, see if I can get it correct, are all white Burgundies unoaked? Or do
No.
you have both varieties?
You have both varieties.
And do they label them as we do in California, oaked and unoaked, or do you have, it's a mystery?
It just
This is why we need
typically-
you.
It tells you the town. Usually if it's Meursault, that's because there's a village called Meursault.
Okay.
If it's Poulny-Montrachet, that's because that's the village.
So French is tough. We really need someone like you to guide us through the tastings because when you read the label, all that is geography.
But the fun thing to know is that if it's white wine from Burgundy,
love that.
it's only
It's
Chardonnay.
Chardonnay.
And if you
Chardonnay.
love Pinot Noir, then you should be trying French red Burgundy.
So I would like to go to Burgundy. That's how this is all coming across.
Fabulous food. Our third wine is a red from Provence, from Nimes. Diane de Puymaran makes fabulous wines. And This wine is made from Mourvedre and Grenache, which is typical for that region of France. So we're not far from Marseille. We're near the coast. The wines are luscious, and you get a lot of black fruit in this wine. I think it's just wonderful with so many different dishes. And again, they're all reasonably priced. They're all around $20. And
which is one of the things we love so much about Michael's Wine Cellar, is that you're able to get these amazing quality wines for us at really reasonable price points.
Everybody thinks everything that we do at Michael's is expensive, but there's over 200 wines under $20 that we have in the store every day.
Well, and there is some other treat that he's brought us that I want to make sure we share. So as part of the French Epicurean adventure, there is dessert this month. Tell us about the gâteau.
Grab your forks, because this is a rose and raspberry gâteau Saint-Honoré. Saint-Honoré was the patron saint of all bakers, with profiteroles and a raspberry chantilly.
Oh, okay. If this doesn't convince you to go try the Epicurean adventure at Michael's on East, I don't know what will, because there is a little surprise in the middle of this dessert that is absolutely heavenly.
You be my Valentine?
Yes, nothing says Valentine's like Michael's on East, and he's saying it throughout the entire month of February. So go visit the French Epicurean adventure. Thank you. What a treat. Shiva, lovely to celebrate with you. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy month of February. Love to everybody. Take some time and enjoy the Suncoast view.
Cheers.